everybody, I'm Paulie G. Welcome to the Paulie G Show, coming to you live from high atop Mount Georgia. And this is a show about, well, I don't really know what it's about. But tonight it's about guitars, and it's about this particular guitar, which I have before me, before you, before us, which is a Guild model D55 guitar. But this isn't just any Guild D55 guitar, because this particular D55 was previously owned by none other than Rich Robinson of the Black Crowes. Woohoo! That's right. Don't be jealous again. I was lucky enough to spend some time recently with Rich, and among other things we talked about my exchanging a whole bunch of money for a guitar. And I'm happy to say we came to an agreement on this one. For those of you who know me, you know how much I love the Black Crowes. And I've always wanted to own a Guild. I've always wanted to own one of Rich's guitars, so it's a happy day for me. So a little bit about Guilds for those of you who are guitar players. If you haven't, if you're not, you've probably changed the channel by now. But if you do have any interest in guitars, hopefully you'll stick around. Guild is an American institution. I think every bit as important, certainly to popular music, as Martin or Gibson, Taylor, Fender, you name them. I think Guild rates right up there in terms of historic quality. They started off in Westerly, Rhode Island. I think sometime in the early 80s, perhaps. They were purchased by the evil empire of the Fender Guitar Corporation. Apologies to you Fender fans out there. I have Fenders myself, but don't really agree with the way they did some certain things. I think it was a bad relationship. They didn't know what to do with Guild. They didn't know how to market the guitars. They didn't know where they wanted to manufacture them. So the factories were sort of nomadic for a number of years. They spent some time in Oxnard, California, and then they tried to merge the Guild line with the Tacoma Guitar Company up in Washington. Another company that Fender bought and, I'm sorry to say, destroyed. Ultimately settling in New Hartford, Connecticut, which is where this particular guitar was produced. I think I've read and heard many times that the New Hartford Guilds were considered to be among the best, if not the best, that Guild ever produced. And I think that's due in no small part to the fact that the plant was operated and managed by Ren Ferguson. He's an American legend when it comes to acoustic guitar manufacturing, having designed and built the Gibson acoustic plant in Bozeman, Montana. He did a lot of work with Fender and obviously a lot of work with Guild. And he was very, very intimately involved in the manufacturing at the New Hartford, Connecticut plant in the years that it was in operation. I was at the plant a couple of times. Unfortunately, it closed last year. This is 2015, so it was 2014. The plant is now closed, which is very sad. But, you know, Ren ran a fantastic operation up there, and I think he found sort of the perfect balance between machine tool precision and hand craftsmanship, which led to just a fantastic, you know, beautiful instrument. And the other thing about Ren was he was a real stickler for materials, and he only wanted the best. So this is a perfect example. This is, you know, Guild's top of the line acoustic guitar, and, you know, for example, we've got a AAA grade solid Sitka spruce top. Inside, which I know is difficult to see because of the lighting, maybe I can give you a camera shot later in the video. We've got Sitka spruce bracing, solid scalloped Sitka spruce bracing, mind you. Say that 10 times fast. Go ahead, I'll wait. Sitka spruce, scalloped Sitka. Tough, right? Don't worry, I can't do it either. So, the sides and the back are master grade rosewood, which has a beautiful grain to it, which I hope you can see in this camera shot. If not, I'll provide a better one. Which is in remarkably good condition when you consider the fact that this particular guitar, you know, has toured with the Crows for a number of years and done some recording. So it's been in and out of studios, in and out of trucks and cases, and slammed around stages. So it's a great indication that Rich and his guitar tech take great care of the guitars that they have. I'm actually really surprised and pleased at the condition of the guitar, considering, you know, where it's been and you know, the challenges of the road. So ebony bridge, ebony fretboard. There's beautiful mother of pearl and abalone fret markers on here. There's an abalone rosette, which is very beautiful. Bone nut, bone saddle, bone pins, all natural materials, all designed to give that beautiful natural resonance that you want from a guitar, really shying away from the cheaper plastic materials that you see on so many guitars, even expensive guitars. They really didn't skimp at all when it came to the D55 material list, which really is shown in the beautiful sound that you get from them, and it's totally understandable why so many people want to play these guitars. The tuning machines are Gotas. They're gold-plated Gotas. To be honest with you, I was a little bit dubious about them initially. You know, it's an open machine in the back, and those always make me a little bit nervous in terms of contamination and, you know, just lint and things getting in there. I'm a Grover tuner fan myself. I have great luck with Grovers. They're closed, they stay in tune, they're fantastic. But I have to say, in the short time I've owned this guitar, which has only been a few days, I've taken it in and out of several tunings. You know, Rich plays in open G, open E, standard. Presently I have it in open E. These tuners have really performed well. You know, they get to that spot and they stay there. There's absolutely no slop or play in them. It just stays in tune beautifully, which is, you know, that's all you can ask for in a tuner. So I'm sold on Gotas. I'm a convert, I have to say. I guess the last thing I'll talk about for this particular guitar is, I'm sure you've noticed by now, there is a sound hole pickup on here. So the story, I think, behind that is that this guitar probably came originally with a D-tar bridge pickup, which would have been installed inside the sound hole, just underneath the bridge. And they're great. I love bridge pickups. I have them on some other guitars. They're great for acoustics, especially since they're invisible to the naked eye. But they suffer a little bit with volume. And I think there was probably a point where this guitar was not getting the projection that they needed on stage. You know, obviously there's drums and bass and keyboards and electric guitars and vocals, and so they probably needed, you know, some more volume. And his guitar tech, Doug Red Redler, installed this LR Baggs sound hole pickup, which is an awesome pickup. I've plugged it in a couple of times. It sounds great. I really understand, you know, why they put it on there, because it would have given them the projection, you know, that they needed to have, you know, in a live setting. So, you know, I'm going to leave it on there. I know you could argue it's a little unsightly when you consider the beauty of the rest of the guitar, but you know, Guild's motto is made to be played. So in keeping with that theme, I think I will certainly leave it on there. I guess one other thing that I will point out, I sort of skipped over it and I apologize for that, is the headstock, which is a beautifully bound headstock. You don't often see that on acoustic guitars, and when you consider the miter joints that needed to be cut by hand to match the scalloping of this shape, it just shows a level of craftsmanship that's in keeping with the rest of the guitar, and just, it just makes for a beautiful instrument. It's something that you don't see on a lot of guitars. Most of the Martins don't have anything close to that. The Gibsons don't. So it shows you that, Guild really takes it to that next level in terms of quality. So I guess that's all I have to say about the guitar. If you're a guitar player or want to be a guitar player, I could definitely say if you can ever get your arms around a Guild, I highly recommend it. You can't play this one. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. We'll talk about that. But thanks for watching. And I think what I'll do now is just sort of noodle around on a couple of Black Crowes songs in keeping with the history of the guitar. And thanks for watching. And I won't play them as cleanly as Rich does. I apologize for that in advance. But we'll see you next time on the Paulie G Show.